side. What does oil look like when it is dispersed? Well, here's a plume of dispersed oil. Now, if from up in the plane, it's kind of hard for us to tell whether that oil is above or below the water. After a while, you see it day after day, you get to kind of figure it out. But if you were flying over this for the first time, that might look like emulsified oil floating on top of the water. It isn't. It's been dispersed. All that water is now below the water surface. You're looking down into that first 5 meters of dispersed oil below the surface. It's done exactly what it's supposed to do. And it'll take on, a lot of times, depending on the original color of the oil, a lot of times it takes on this chalky color. Now, if that was milky white, pure milky white, looked like you poured milk out, that means you probably dumped dispersant in the water, and it's just foaming up the water, and you're not doing anything. But if it's darker than that, you're getting this nice chocolate color, and it's below the surface, it means you've dispersed it. If it's that color and it's floating on the surface, it means what? It's probably emulsified oil. So, again, sometimes the plane is not sure. On the boat, you can be sure because you're right there and you can tell whether it's floating on the surface, emulsified, or whether it's below the surface, dispersed. Okay, observation of application and after effects. Again, I'll just go through some of these quickly. This is sort of time sequence. The point I want to make here is when you spray, conditions are perfect. Perfect oil for spraying, perfect adjuvant. Everything works, dispersant works right away. Sometimes it takes minutes, many minutes. Sometimes you won't see it actually happen until an hour or so later. Maybe you're off working somewhere else. You think, oh, it didn't work there. But it will eventually work. It just takes a lot of time. This sequence of pictures took place over about 20 minutes. The plane would fly over and spray a patch. And I'm usually in the observer plane up above. And we'd have to watch and see whether or not it actually dispersed. So we're leading the plane over the streak of oil. Now this is afterwards. This is dark oil here. And there's sheening off of here, but that was there before. So this is immediately after spraying. Nothing's happening. Okay? 10 minutes later, now we're beginning to see, this is still the original sheen, but we're beginning to see this dark oil. See how it begins, how it's beginning to look like it's tearing loose? Here it's breaking loose a little bit. So we think something's beginning to happen. Now, we're on the other side of the slick, but now we're certain that it's happening. Here's the original dark streak. See how it's breaking up? And it's beginning to move off this way. So it's working now. We can tell it's working. And here you can see, now for sure it's really, this is not just normal sheening off of the dark spill. This is the spill beginning to break up. But the spray plane is long gone. It's gone back to base. And you can see the progression there. You can start to see here. It's hard to see in this picture. It's much easier on my little screen here. But you can actually see this is a chocolatey color. So it's not just sheen. That chocolatey color is dispersed oil that's being dispersed off of this main body. There it's probably easier for you to see. See how it's all chocolatey looking and really breaking up? So we know we put the right amount of dispersant in the right location there. That's what we're trying to get after a spray run. Here you can see is a little different sheen at a different time, but here you can see the dark oil that we hit with spray. Here it's happening almost immediately. You see this dispersed plume coming off? Now this here is probably on the surface of the water, that trail there that's coming across, but this is under the water surface, and that is dispersed oil. That's what we're trying to get. And so that's, when you see that behind your boat, or the helicopter tells you that's what he's seeing behind you, you know you've laid down a good plume of dispersant on the oil. And that's quite a bit later. that's what you're doing. Now you're making that iceberg into shaved ice and making it amenable for those microbes to eat up. Just some more pictures of oil coming off the. Okay. Oh, you know why that was good now? Observer aids. This is all aircraft stuff. I will point this out. This is a GPS system right here. Question, have you got GPS on your bridge?
Yeah.
Make sure it's working on Wednesday. On Wednesday, you'll want to be recording certain things, the time and the specific location on a log that I'll pass out to you, okay? But you'll need your GPS to be doing that. And that's the last one. And having said that, before I forget, because I'm prone to forgetting. Oh, thank you.